the platform that you're on, it says the first thing they say to you when you go to media training is stay away from politics and stay away from religion. You see what it did to Kanye? Politics and religion?
Kanye West is arguably the most controversial person to ever make his way into the mainstream hip-hop industry. He made it to the top thanks to his artistic genius that separated him from the rest. However, once he got there, all the worst things that he had to show the world came out, and Ye quickly turned from hero to villain, from politics to fashion, from an elite celebrity lifestyle to abandonment and stigma. This man truly walked the path no man ever walked before.
But I feel terrible about what happened to Kanye. And I'll tell you one of the reasons I feel terrible about it. Because all of us were enjoying Kanye's mental illness. His genius comes straight out of his mental illness. And we loved him because he was so unfiltered, so real. So when I see Rihanna holding him up, my feeling is, no, it's not for you to hold him up. I tried to save Kanye. I didn't even say anything about it.
So what caused the in-between? How did Ye go from a healthy, creative superstar producer to a mentally ill anti-hero involved in the plastic lifestyle of the rich and famous in just a few short years? Kanye Amari West was born on June 8, 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia, but he was raised in Chicago, Illinois. He's the son of Ray West, a politically active figure and former Black Panther, and Dr. Donda West, a professor of English language and literature at Chicago State University. West grew up in a middle-class household and was raised primarily by his mother, Donda, who was a strong influence in his life and pushed him toward pursuing his passion in arts. Ye attended several different schools in Chicago, including Polaris High School and Chicago State University, but he eventually dropped out of college to pursue a career in music. Ye was attracted to a diverse range of music, from gospel and soul to hip-hop and rock. Rap came in during his early teens, and Ye was known for his ability to write and produce his own music. His early influences included Rakim, Nas, and Jay-Z, but also other figures from the music world, like Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin.
Grab some more in.
In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Kanye began making a name for himself in the music industry. And contrary to the belief that he was a rapper from day one, he actually started in the music industry as a producer. However, household names from the rap game were always in his vicinity. As the 2000s came around, Kanye saw himself in a different light, one in which he's holding the mic and rapping, not just making beats for others and selling them. That's when he began to focus more on his own music and started to gain attention for his rapping abilities. One of West's first breakthrough moments as a rapper came in 2002 when he was featured on Jay-Z's hit single, The Blueprint 2. West's verse on the song was well received by fans and critics, and it helped to establish him as a serious rapper in his own right. Riding the wave of his success, Kanye now had all the resources necessary in order to skyrocket his music career into never-before-seen heights. That is exactly what he did. Kanye went into the studio day and night, recording song after song and giving his absolute best. He sapped out all the artistic juice that he had in him, and in the next 18 years, he made 9 more albums that reshaped the hip-hop genre from its core. In 2008, with 808s and Heartbreak, we saw him refurnish his musical impetus with electronic and synth-pop music. 2010 and his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy won him the best rap album of the year. At this point, Ye showed the world that he's cut from a different cloth. From here on, every album that he released, from Yeezus to Donda, tried something new, incorporating musical elements never before heard or experimented with. However, there were 2 common themes in his music that became rather obvious at the midpoint of his musical career, but were always present in his lyrics from the very beginning. What changed is the amount of weight that these themes carried throughout his albums, and how much of his personal life he decided to dedicate to this very theme: religion and politics. The very things that 50 Cent argued would destroy anyone from the media world who isn't careful.
Basically, about socialism, right?
Act which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant.
Historically speaking, superstar artists used to and still use their fame and image to their advantage in order to tell you their own story, perhaps share their agenda with the public. From preventing war to embracing gender equality and spreading love, artists can reach a whole wide audience and leave a pretty big mark on our society.
We have to think about all these things together as a people, to contemplate our future. We don't need sentences. We need pardons. We need to talk to people. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I was connected with a neuropsychologist.
Ye tried doing the same thing. He began publicly expressing his support for the U.S. President Donald Trump. Suffice it to say, this caused controversy among his fans and peers. He also made a number of controversial statements about slavery, the 13th Amendment, and other political issues.
I don't want to put you in that spot.
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here. Yeah, amen. Yes.
In 2018, Kanye West made headlines when he tweeted his support for U.S. President Donald Trump and the slogan, "Make America Great Again, MAGA." He later clarified his tweets by saying that he didn't necessarily agree with everything Trump stood for, but believed in the power of free thought and the ability to express oneself without fear of backlash. Kanye's support for Trump and the MAGA slogan drew criticism from many fans and fellow celebrities, who saw it as an endorsement of the president's controversial policies and decisive rhetoric. Some accused Kanye of being out of touch with the black community and of using his platform to spread harmful ideas.
What does it really mean to follow God? Like, as I stand here today, I'm reminded of the first time my children ever got an opportunity.
In 2019, he released his album Jesus is King, which included lyrics about his newfound faith and support for conservative political values. And in 2020, he went as far as announcing his own bid for the U.S. presidency, but ultimately failed to secure enough signatures to get on the ballot in many states. Kanye has also become known for his religious beliefs, his efforts to incorporate them into his music and public persona. He's described himself as a Christian innovator and has spoken openly about his faith in interviews and on social media. He's also held a series of Sunday service events, which are essentially gospel-infused concerts that just feature West and a large choir performing renditions of his songs and other gospel music. Politics and religion in Kanye's career is a complex and controversial topic. What Ye tried to accomplish by fusing his artistic and creative persona with both politics and religion was to create a new horizon of practice. He challenged these two well-established systems in an attempt to revolutionize the way we not only perceive God and express faith in the Lord, but also what it means to hold the role of a president and to govern an entire state. Once he saw the impact his music had on the lives of those who supported him as an artist, he wanted to take it one step further, spread that powerful energy even more. However, he hit a large brick in the wall that would ultimately change the way he thinks, acts, and looks at the world.
You just get used to getting screwed by the Jewish media. And I'm saying, y'all done poked the bear too long.
Failing to turn his dreams into reality, Kanye completely went overboard with sharing his dangerous and hate-induced opinions on Jews, calling out people from the business world, and denouncing several public figures for manipulating him and not giving them the respect he thought was common to him. He disrespected black folks on live television, saying that slavery was a choice.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison.
And in one interview, he said that he has nothing against Hitler and that even Hitler has something worth loving inside of him.
I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
The famous duality that Kanye nurtured since he became aware of himself became painfully transparent once he realized that he cannot influence society to such a high degree as he would like to. Taking on the role of a savior, such as the one that he firmly believes in with Jesus Christ, couldn't be done. And as a result, Kanye was met with hate and ridicule no matter where he showed up.
I guess a man on my yellow.
What? Where? Oh, yeah, right here.
Some believe that he lost his way before all these problems started becoming mainstream media news coverage. In fact, the true transformation began on the sad day his only true supporter and best friend, Donda West, passed away. Many believe that Kanye lost his calling, his consistency both in music and in character on the day that his mother died.
Of her life, to have those kids running around that house and being able to like go and buy them toys and
Kanye's struggled to come to terms with the loss of his mother and went through a period of mourning. He later revealed that he felt guilty for not being able to save her and that he had lost his superhero.
Oh, you know the one I used to always try to get you to do, Kanye, and you never did it. Was that I walked through the halls of the school, and it's cool to be known by many for my rapping ability. But what about the brothers who ain't got it like me?
See, Ye had a relationship with his mother that was by far the strongest link that he ever had with anyone. She was the catalyst which enabled Ye and pushed him towards accomplishment and achievement of all his goals. Donda created the good old Kanye that everyone wishes for these days. His mom was his whole world, a marvelous woman who always believed in him. While she was in his life, watching his movies and dictating the tempo, his actions had purpose. They had flow and direction. But ever since he passed, things were simply not the same. Kanye went through a horror show of a marriage and ended up having 4 kids with a woman who never truly cared for him. Kim Kardashian pushed Kanye to consistently remain in the public eye because of her lifestyle, and it cost him more than he could afford. He went in and out of hospitals in an attempt to cope with his mental illness, not to mention that he began causing controversies everywhere he went. He started dressing in a subdued and understated fashion. He even moved out of the States, spent a number of months in solitude on a remote island in an attempt to salvage his creativity and peace of mind. In the end, the two went through a divorce, and even though they both claimed they would stay on good terms, Ye's life has been extremely complicated since he parted ways.
Yeah, I'm just wishing my daughter a public happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. There's nothing legal. They're saying that these are the kind of games that's being played.
Kim tried his hardest to be a parent and have his word in his relationship with his daughter North, but Kim allows their daughter to use social media like TikTok, and Kanye strongly disagrees with it. However, there's nothing he can do about it, and it's making his life miserable. He even missed his own daughter's birthday because Kim wouldn't disclose the location of the party to him. Ye's life was never a typical one, and it never will be. The idiosyncrasies of his personality and music will forever make him unique and unpredictable. What we can only hope for is that he finds peace and happiness in everything that he's done in the last few years.